And welcome back. We are live with another episode of the Mecca of Banter. If you guys tuned in last time, we were unable to find Butchie's sleeves, but they are back. We are here, and along with it, we got our boy Sean back in the booth.
Yes, sir.
Hats off, Pasa. Before we get into the soccer talk today and the beautiful game of football, I wanted to quickly kind of discuss and give our thoughts and prayers out to Christian Eriksen. As some of you guys may know, in the past couple of weeks, Denmark was playing Finland, and Christian Eriksen went into cardiac arrest. The medical staff was able to bring him back, and he is now in a hospital in Denmark under stable condition. So I just wanted to give a little shout out to the medical staff and everyone involved with the help of him, and all of our thoughts and prayers are with him. And if you guys wanted to add anything, you're more than welcome to.
I think you said it well.
I just think that was one of the craziest things I've ever saw on a soccer field. And like watching it live makes it even like...
Completely agree.
That was the scariest thing I've ever seen in a soccer game in my life.
Completely agree.
When you watch it back, it's like he was like fully on camera. Like the ball is like 10 yards away. Yeah. And so you can see him just fall.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I also thought, I don't know if you guys watched the Denmark-Belgium game today. I really thought the way they recognized him was super dope with the whole, at the 10-minute mark, they stopped play and they started cheering. And I also thought it was cool that his hospital was a block away, so they brought him.
De Bruyne didn't celebrate either after he scored the second, which was the winner.
Exactly. Yeah, so I thought they did a really good job. And obviously, once again, shout out to the medical team. I think they literally saved the man's life. So
100%.
Big shout.
So many Belgians are friends with De Bruyne.
Exactly. I think you meant to say Eriksen, but Eriksen, like the whole Lukaku celebration after that. I thought it was.
But Jan and Toby played with them
Spurs.
Yep.
Also, huge shout out to the captain, Simon Kjaer. Oh my God, what a leader he is.
I couldn't even imagine being on that field as a teammate and having to, them standing around him was incredible show of
everyone
respect for them.
Warrior.
He is a warrior, man. And
it was
the leadership, and the biggest word I would use is just character. Like the way he reacted so quickly, he's like, everybody get over here. We're shielding this because obviously you were going to talk about it, but like, that's something you don't show. You know what I'm saying?
Not at all.
And he was like, we're going to block this off, but then he consoled his wife, and like, how he handled it was just
and I don't know if you know, he was the first person to Eriksen, and he immediately grabbed his tongue to make sure that he didn't swallow it, and then the medical staff came on. So he was, I completely agree, all around class for that, man.
I can't imagine having to go back in the locker room and then, 45 minutes later having to come play.
That was going to be.
I get that, but still,
he's
just
obviously
like
going to say it.
Obviously, he's going to say it, but from a mental standpoint, it's just
at the time I was thinking it probably wasn't the move.
I was going to say I don't want to touch long on it, but the two things that I thought were poor from the experience were, one, the cameramen, as we all were just talking,
showed everything.
They showed everything.
Didn't miss a thing.
I
didn't know if he was supposed to or not.
I know, but I literally watched them give him CPR for 2 minutes live on TV, and I don't think that should be acceptable.
I stopped watching. I couldn't. It was uncomfortable.
And then also, I think UEFA, the way they handled the game afterwards, a lot of the Denmark people have commented on it recently. They were given two options of play now or play later, and that was pretty much it. And they didn't really have a say in what they were doing.
I also understand that, though.
Yeah,
you're on such this tournament. You're on such a tight schedule. With Denmark had to play again today, and then you know what I mean. It's just.
But here's what I want to say. One of the stats that I heard that blew my mind was, if a player somehow tests positive, one of their COVID tests comes back positive, and they're even in the stadium, that game can be delayed for 48 hours. If someone has cardiac arrest, that is not a thing. And I think that is bullshit, and that should never be the case.
Yeah, that's wild.
I don't want to touch too long on it, so that's where I want to leave it.
COVID would shut down the tournament.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
Spain had a ton of issues with COVID going into the tournament, where they had players had to miss training, couldn't train at all.
I could dive into that.
Had to practice by themselves.
Yeah, of course.
Sure.
It's the whole situation's insane.
It was
glad
crazy.
He's on the up and up.
Yeah. To put a bookmark on it, Eriksen's doing well, and we're all happy that he is. And thoughts and prayers. We
grew up watching him be a beast.
He's a baller.
Oh, incredible!
Fantastic.
And he's the main, like, that Denmark team without him is. I mean, I thought they played very well today, but Eriksen's he's their leader. He's everything for them, I think. So
he was the missing piece today.
Absolutely.
If you watched the game.
What were you saying about the Spanish team?
So the Spain squad had I don't know if you know, but they had a huge COVID
outbreak.
I heard about
a week and a half going into the Euro. So what happened was
Sergio Busquets.
Busquets.
It was biscuits.
Busquets tested
I
positive.
know it was.
Sean knew it was biscuits.
Busquets tested positive after one of their friendlies before the tournament. That then forced Luis Enrique they had to train in increments of 10 players. So leading up to that game against Sweden, the first opening game, they hadn't trained as a team.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
they were playing small-sided games.
They were playing small-sided training sessions.
Got you. So is that your excuse for why they played so shitty?
That's the right word.
Hey, man.
The right word is so
sorry.
shitty.
Stop the cap. All right, so Spain had that whole situation, and luckily they haven't had any positive tests come out of it. So hopefully it's kind of behind them now, and they can move forward with it. But as he said, let's just hope that COVID doesn't play a role in stopping any of this, because what we've seen so far has been some fun
brilliant
international
soccer.
Tournament soccer. So
Should we go group by group now?
I was gonna say now that we're in the Euros,
So let's just give context. So today, when we're recording this, it's match day 2 of Group C. So when you guys hear this, I think you're getting ready to be going to the beginning of the match day 3 for all the groups. So the games that are important. I don't know.
It'll just start.
I really don't want to give Butch credit because of Italy.
I know. I was about to say we can start with Group A.
Come on, baby.
And it's funny. So Butch picked, which is me saying this out loud is absurd. The fact that Italy's a dark horse, but Butch picked Italy as a dark horse. And
yeah, they're not the dark horse.
To be honest,
going into the tournament they were. Now they're not.
I think they're, and I'll argue France because I enjoy watching France play, but they're arguably they're playing the best soccer right now.
I would not have let him say that they were the dark horse. They were before the tourney.
dude,
Okay.
you have to think this is a team that didn't play in the last World Cup.
But
Yeah, and it was a shock.
But that's what I'm saying. They have a whole new generation of players. They're all different, except for Bonucci,
Dark horse.
They didn't make the Netherlands.
What about them?
Are they a dark horse?
No.
Oh, I picked.
Are they a
the Netherlands.
favorite? Because if you say yes, that's a
They're
cappuccino.
not a favorite. What's a favorite? Like top 3?
Yeah.
They're no. But they're the dark horse. Dark horse is someone from the back that you would never expect. That's literally what dark horse
Who was your dark
I
horse?
genuinely didn't think Italy was going to have
Mine?
that kind of
Poland.
shot.
Poland?
Yeah.
Holy cappuccino. Poland?
Yeah, I think Butchie
Yo,
looked at it.
my
as
dark
a-
horse is the worst. It's the same group. Fucking the Turks have let me down.
Oh, I was gonna. That's where I was gonna
They play with
go.
passion, but they're still playing Brag Ilmaz, the dude up top who's like 40 years old.
Yeah,
35.
35, I
He's
was
got
going to say.
Bullshit, you knew his birthday.
What? He's 35.
Why would you know his birthday?
That's one
Play
of
for
those.
Galatasaray.
No, bro,
like half
that's
his
one of
life.
those that he's finally getting some coverage on the Euros, and they said it 10 times.
Yeah,
So
it has
Butch
to
just
be.
heard
It
it
has
once.
to be.
No, but so I don't know if you were gonna
Go
go
through group 1. Sorry.
Well, I was just gonna say. So Group A is Italy, Wales, Switzerland, Turkey. They've all played 2 games. Italy's 2-0. Wales is 1 win, 1 draw. Switzerland's 1 draw, 1 loss, and Turkey's 0-2. And
So it's basically a fight for second.
exactly.
Yeah.
And, well, no. So top 3 advance. Oh, right.
Yeah.
Top 3
Top three
advance.
advance.
Not necessarily.
Yeah, the
though.
third.
The
It's like a
best-
play-in, right?
No, it's the 2 best third seeds. go.
Oh, okay. See, I did not know that.
I
That's
will
good to know.
say we're going to give Italy credit, but they did play 2 sides that are very, very underperforming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the football that they played.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, I was gonna say the-
counterattacking and the way they
They
defend.
pressed high too, kind of.
They're passing out
But
of
like they never
pressure.
played really.
Yeah.
I never really see Italy press high.
They're passing out of pressure.
It's kind of like one of those where we say that they're not necessarily a team of superstars because they're not all big names. But when you watch them, you wouldn't be able to tell they're not superstars.
They're all solid players.
Yeah.
I don't know everyone on the field. Like they're all competent players playing in front of an insanely
And with
experienced back line.
I was going to say with their back 4 of who got hurt? Was it Bonucci?
Chiellini.
Chiellini got hurt. I mean, but when you have a center back pairing of Bonucci and Chiellini who have been there, done that for Italy for how long?
years.
I mean, Florenzi is insane.
He didn't play last game.
Who they play?
They played the right back from Napoli, Di Lorenzo.
Oh yeah,
And he
he's
looked
also
very good.
insane. Bro.
Yeah.
I don't know. They're
Butch, pronounce the guy's name that had both goals.
Locatelli.
look at that.
Who's
What a
he play
player.
for?
Sassuolo.
Yeah, Sassuolo. He is I read a little article about him that's saying essentially he's the biggest name or had the best year in Serie A that nobody really knew about, and it kind of sounds like this is
He's about to stunt.
These big tournaments, it's like there's those few players that kind of take that jolt after a big tournament. And so far, he's
James Rodriguez.
Yeah, far he looks like that player he's been so good.
Yeah, and my man Jorginho, I think has been playing pretty well.
He has.
He's been kind of the rock.
He does his job.
Well, yeah, Verratti didn't play against Switzerland.
Jorginho really, at least in game 1, I got to watch all of game 1. I didn't get to watch all of game 2, but for game 1, Jorginho didn't do it for me.
He looked great yesterday. He did.
Yeah, that's what
he looked great yesterday. Yes,
he was definitely what Verratti probably would have been, the defender, the one who sits, the one who's getting the ball from that back line and kind of starting the whole attack forward. I thought he played really well.
So who's coming out in the 2 in this?
This is tough because the hardest thing about this group for this third game coming up is Wales has to play Italy.
Yeah.
And that is the one game they did not want to play last.
And they
got the potential for
what's
your thought on Wales?
If anyone's got the potential to do a shocker out of that group, it's for sure Wales.
Oh, I agree. After seeing the first 2 games of them playing, I agree.
Their defense is better than it's probably ever been. Their midfield has some depth to it. They got your boy up top.
Don't you fucking call him my boy.
Danny James.
I will say he put in some shifts.
Bro,
like the way that the Euros is played, and the way that big tournaments is played, there's that like expansive amount of space every once in a while that like a guy like him can literally win you a game like that.
Well, there was him. You're watching him in the 88th minute, and he's full sprint dead in the corner, like keeping the ball for him, putting crosses in. It's like
that's when the I don't know.
It's international
these
style.
Always seem to come. Right. They always seem to come down to something
for sure.
like that. I could see the Wales pulling something out of there.
Bale has been. I mean, he did miss the pen, but
he looked sharp.
He was great.
He definitely looked sharp the second game. The first game, I was a little iffy.
He'll score a goal.
He'll definitely get one.
It's fun watching him. I don't know if you guys saw after the game when he got the Welsh team in a circle and he's in the middle screaming at all of them. It's like it looks like he's actually enjoying football right now.
Yeah,
he got
hopefully
got away from Spurs and he's smiling again, dude.
Hey, I'm gonna go out on a limb. When you guys see this, when this comes out, Wales isn't scoring against Italy.
They're shutting them out.
Okay. They've gone 10 straight games without conceding.
Wales is scoring 2.
Oh,
2?
Are you saying
Chat. Hold up.
Joe Allen.
Joe Allen.
Are you saying
And does he still rock the beard? Yeah, he does.
Wales is not scoring.
And Danny James.
No shot.
So what I wanted to say about
Daniel James 2-win winner against Italy?
Oh my God! What I want to say about Daniel James is I don't know if you guys saw him when he got taken off the first game in the 70th minute. He literally threw like a bitch fit coming off the field, and I was like, "Oh my God, I hate you so much."
That's
this is when I get to play.
Yeah,
man.
that's exactly what it was. He pulled one of those like I'm so shocked that I'm getting off the field right now type thing, and I was just like, "Oh my God, get off the pitch." No, but I think
so you think
Turkey's out. I think Wales is going to finish above Switzerland.
Turkey's beating the Swiss.
Yeah, say if they beat the Swiss, they could go in. They could make it.
Oh, you are right. I didn't know that.
So this table is.
That's what I'm saying. The Turks still got a shot.
Yeah, they do.
The Turks gotta
watch them win, and then they're gonna go to like the quarterfinals, and he's gonna be like,
"I'm buying a Turkey jersey."
Yeah, he's like his dark
bro,
horse.
to be completely fair, if you watch that first game, like they literally are in. They look pretty control until that own goal.
It was a bad mistake, and after that, they couldn't recover.
Never
turned it around.
Yeah, like they were starting to play like a weird level of football that Turkey does not play. And I was
I think in the lead up to it, I think they had won or not. Excuse me, it might have been not lost. Don't quote me on it. It was like 8 or 10 in a row.
Yeah, 9.
So they're sitting there like on a roll, which is why I thought that they were going to be.
I think they'd given up 3 goals in that period. That was the stat that they were
shit
talking
the bed
about.
for me.
And then they give up that own goal, their best player too.
Yeah.
But with this table, the biggest thing with Turkey is they have in their 2 games they have not scored and they've conceded 5.
Yeah,
so their goal difference is not helping them.
Well, that's why we're talking about our boy. 35 years old. It's like
Yilmaz, yeah.
He doesn't necessarily have the same production for Turkey that he does when he's playing. So that's why it's like
if they didn't let him play, the coach would probably be like beaten.
The Turkey-Switzerland game, it's a must-win for Turkey.
And it's a must-win for the Swiss.
Well, yeah. So the winner of that game advances, and if it's a draw, then Swiss.
That's
advance.
what you think.
No, that's what it is.
Italy and Wales is not just going to get run over by Italy.
I don't think.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Over.
They'll still be
way
points above them. They're at 6 and 4, and Switzerland's at 1, and Turkey's at 0. So there's no way that Italy's in.
Yeah.
So is
Yeah, so I'm
Wales.
saying, yeah,
Basically.
I'm
Okay,
saying
so
that
it's between
Turkey's
Swiss
games
and Turkey.
I'm saying
Switzerland
that,
could
for
tie.
third.
Yeah,
Yeah, for third.
Yeah, but third's not going to matter.
The
in that group.
Swiss could jump to 2 if
Get what you're saying. They're going to
Wales
go to
gets
3.
Yeah,
blown
Okay.
out.
So
Yeah.
Group B, I actually really want to talk about it because I watched them play today and I was very impressed. Belgium, Russia, Finland, Denmark. They've all played 2 games. Belgium's 2-0, Russia's 1-1, Finland's 1-1, and Denmark's 0-2. Kevin fucking De Bruyne.
man breaks his nose and then comes in for the first time.
Even the first goal they scored today, like he could easily sat there and just tried to blast that thing home, but he literally
Absolutely.
takes a beautiful first touch and like almost like no looks it across the box. Comes on at halftime, gets him back in the game like that.
Literally immediate impact into a game. And I was blown. It was one of those things where I was like, yeah, that's Kevin De Bruyne. Like I feel like I haven't seen Champions League final. He gets hurt. Don't really get to see him play, but that he changed the game. He was the best player on the pitch.
Yeah, he's an alien.
And he won them the game. And I was
One thing I do want to say is
blown away.
Denmark was.
They played very well.
I felt for him. If I didn't bet on Belgium, I would have felt for him harder. But it's one of those where it's like they coming off of what they have and the way they played today. It's like their coach literally said, "I'm could not be more proud of my team. Could not be more proud of Denmark."
Absolutely.
Oh,
Them scoring first in the second minute, like the emotions I bet they were feeling was incredible. And hats off to them. They played an incredible game. But Kevin De Bruyne.
Well, back to that, what you said about De Bruyne, that first goal that he assisted, that kind of composure and IQ, there's only a certain number of players that we've seen in the past 10 years of watching soccer who can do that. You got your Messis, your Mesut Ozil is notorious for that.
You don't got to tell me. I know the list.
You know,
It's short.
but
The
like
list is short.
that is just like, as soccer fans, that is the purest like form of beauty on the
Absolutely.
field. To see that kind of play, you know what I'm saying?
You
Like
know what the funniest part about it is? We're not even talking about his goal. Like, we're
And
not,
his goal was incredible.
it was a build-up. Was just,
his assist was better because
no, 100%.
it's just like you can't teach that. Like that is just like unbelievable.
Any other player shooting,
100%.
probably scoring, but he plays the extra pass and gets a wide open goal, and it's
he's always said that he likes assisting his teammates more than he likes scoring goals. Like,
You know
that's
who
Kevin
that-
De Bruyne in a nutshell.
and that's what you want.
You know who we got that from? The King, Cesc Fabregas.
I was waiting for that one. Okay, but so this group, Belgium's obviously advancing. The fight right now is between Russia and Finland. They're both at 3 points. Finland's goal differential is at 0, but Russia is at -2.
Mhm.
So who do you guys
Russia
think?
plays Denmark and Finland plays Belgium.
Yes. So
Finland's in a tough spot.
very tough
They gotta
spot.
play Belgium.
So I think I honestly think the table's going to stay how it is. I think Russia is probably. I could see a tie with Russia and Denmark, and then I can see Belgium just.
Maybe a Denmark win, man.
That was my first thought. Is I think they're going to leave the tournament
Denmark's
with
got
one
a
win.
lot more to play for than your normal.
This is
Yeah,
their
you're right.
one time the tournament. They're like, all right, we got a shot right now.
And you got to look, their goal difference is also -2 with
Yeah.
Russia. That game is huge.
Massive.
That's a huge game. Wow. I hope Denmark pulls it off. I'd love to see them go into the knockouts.
no brainer for me.
Yep, 100%.
Sorry to divert again. Did you see that? Happen to see the quote the other day about Cesc, about why he said he left Chelsea the last time?
No, what was it?
Did you see it?
No.
I sent it to someone. I guess I sent it to.
It's probably big. I was
Egerson.
going to say it's probably big.
What was it?
About why Cesc Fabregas left Chelsea the last time.
Now I need to hear it. Like,
Yeah,
you're
I wanna
building
hear
this
it
up.
now.
Yeah, you
Just
got
one reason.
you got to tell me.
Jorginho.
Dude. Don't even put Jorginho in that same
That's literally what he
category,
said. He said I
dude.
couldn't play there if he was going to be there.
Hate to hear that.
Dude.
That's the best thing I've ever heard.
Cesc is a savage.
That's why when you said him, that was just I was like, I can't get that out of my head.
Jorginho started in the Champions League. and
Oh,
won the
I know.
Champions League, so.
Cesc has done that.
Cesc has won the
I
World
know.
Cup.
That's-
Hey, I'm just saying. Not
right,
bad.
Group
All right,
C.
Group C. I want to talk about
Russia's
this.
getting bounced.
Yeah, you
That's
think?
what- yeah.
Okay, that's a fair call.
Yeah.
All righty, I'll hold you on that.
Off what? A Finland draw?
He thinks Denmark's winning in. Finland draw.
Finland.
No, Finland needs to lose,
Finland
and
needs
then
to
Denmark
lose.
needs to win.
Denmark needs to win.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, then
Yeah.
yeah, he's right. Well, no, then Finland would get the boot, and Russia would go on.
Yeah, that's what he's saying.
Doesn't Russia play Denmark?
Yeah.
If Denmark beats Russia, they're through.
most
They're
likely.
on the same goal differential, 3 points. If they win, they're through.
There's no way Finland's beating
Yeah.
Belgium. There's no way.
You're right.
I don't even have it in front of me, and
But
I got
Russia,
the math.
But Russia would be third and still possibly advancing,
Possibly.
and Finland would be last.
If they lost, oh yeah, I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying.
Okay,
I
we're
got
good.
you, yeah.
So moving on, Group C, and this is my dark horse. And after today, I'm kind of happy with my pick because I thought they played pretty well. Netherlands are first in the table. Once again, they've all played 2 games. They're 2-0. Ukraine is 1-1. Austria is 1-1, and North Macedonia is 0-2.
I'm gonna take a second. I'm gonna gas Sean up because he told me. No, you told me about this guy years ago, and Sean and I were playing Warzone the other night, and we were talking about him on the sticks. Yarmolenko on Ukraine is unreal, dude.
Yeah,
that goal he scored against the Netherlands was unbelievable, and then he scored again today and got an assist. He's lighting up the Euros right now.
Yeah, I remember going into like college talking to Butch, being like, this dude's gonna go to Barcelona and tear shit up.
He was saying like
where does he go 8 years later? West Ham. I'm like, that hurts, bro. That hurts.
Well,
it was during West Ham's like huge splurge though off the Payet money, and like they were gonna really try and take the leap. So it was like a well-funded project to try and get him. And now they don't look like a bad team, and he's still there. So like, it's cool, but I really think he's like a star player. But
he's been doing great.
I also thought he was older than he is. I thought he's like 35. He's
31. Born in October.
Birthday? You mother.
Look it up.
It's cool seeing players like that shine at this stage.
And it's not just
like,
that though, too, because they've had star power, obviously, like Shevchenko. They've had guys like that. They have Konoplyanka, who's like an insanely talented player.
Zinchenko.
But now they have Zinchenko pulling strings in the middle with a different level of discipline taught from Pep.
I love watching him play there.
He's one of my favorite players.
Yeah, I love watching him play there.
One of my favorite players, hands down. The way he plays like a left back and then just carries into the midfield, his shoulders up, always looking around.
It's the shoulders up, like just pivoting his body.
I also like his like emotion and passion that he has as well, and he's very like
he's a leader.
He's also like very humble. Like he gets fouled or he fouls someone. He's not sitting there arguing with the ref or anything. He's running back into his spot and getting ready. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Businessman.
Did you see the thing with his wife now? It was like there was something. She was a pundit, and she interviewed him, and it was like 8 months later they were engaged.
Oh wow!
So he's a smooth talker.
That a boy. No, but so I think Netherlands are going to win this group. I think Ukraine will probably finish second. I think it's probably going to stay the same.
I agree.
I want to talk about Austria because Austria
they had chances
they have
today.
some good players.
They had so many chances today.
And that's a tough statement though because Ukraine has to play the Dutch, and Austria.
Wait,
gets
are you sure?
Macedonia.
I thought Ukraine played. Austria.
Or no, you're right. Ukraine's going to play
Austria.
Austria.
That's going to be an insane.
So basically,
it's
the
really
winner goes through.
game.
Okay,
exactly.
So
before I'll let you go, but remember how Austria, if you're talking about dark horses, Austria's been the dark horse, like supposedly for like the last World Cup and Euro. It'd be a real shame if they can't get out of the group again.
Yeah,
it'd be like if you're talking about people that like can't get through and like would be like the biggest letdown. If they fail again.
Hurt? He didn't play today for him.
Delaney?
No, Arnautovic.
Marko
He got suspended.
Or suspended, excuse me.
Good.
Yeah.
He does play like insane for them. I can't deny
That's what I'm saying.
Sorry,
he's another one of their studs.
I'm just gonna say, like watching them today, they're a good team and they have some really good players.
They do.
Like
Alaba's one of my favorite players.
Yeah, he had a rough one today.
All guys in the Bundesliga that are good, like
Bontlinger or something.
If they wouldn't given up that pen today,
I've never looked at it.
Okay.
I think he's 21, maybe.
If they don't give up that pen that early in the game, that's a completely different game. Because when you got to play behind like that from that early, like
I know.
Same.
What do we think of the Dutch though? I'm interested to see what you guys say. Yeah, Frankie, great.
Unbelievable.
Yes.
Depay playing pretty well.
I think when I say let's rank the top 3 after we go through the group of who your favorites are.
Okay.
We might come back to the Dutch for some people.
Okay.
I will say the one thing that I want to add about the Dutch is even without Van Dijk, obviously their back line, they have some star-studded names back there.
Absolutely.
My biggest thing is
No Virgil.
It's the first thing we said we walked in here
yeah,
today.
we Dobes and I were talking.
I go, how good that would be with Virgil.
Oh my gosh. But I want to like point out that I think offensively though, right now, a lot of the pressure comes on Depay a little bit to kind of create stuff in that final third of the field. The guy that's playing up top, I like him, but I'm still mixed about him. Weghorst.
I think they're gonna start playing Sim.
I don't know. Luke De Jong. I don't know because they're both the same player. They're both 6'4". They're hold-up guys who are great in the air. They don't have that other like kind of Depay figure.
Depay likes the combined.
Yeah.
Quick passes. Yeah.
Yeah. But I will say on the wings, the Dumfries dude.
he's just a specimen.
He is a freak athlete.
That's a perfect way to describe it.
He's a freak athlete.
He's blowing by people. And then he's doing that thing where his waist is at their head and he's jumping.
Oh my gosh.
Doing that thing.
Yeah, he's doing that thing to him.
But their midfield triangle, man, they are.
I was going to say it goes back to what we always bring up.
Close to the top of the tournament.
Their three midfield is
unbelievable.
I think going to take them far. Okay, next group. Oh, well, if we want to go back, North Macedonia.
Just shout out Greg.
Special moment. First goal in a major tournament.
Yeah,
huge.
Props to them.
Yeah.
Huge.
Shout out them. But I think they're getting the boot. And Netherlands is going to finish on top. That's my opinion.
So.
Group D is...
Yeah, this one's interesting. So Group D right now, as it stands, Czech Republic's at 1. All of them have only played one game. So now we're getting into the groups that have only played one game.
Can we roast Southgate?
Please. Give the breakdown.
Czech Republic's at 1 with 1 win. Their goal differential is 2. England's at 2nd with 1 win. Their goal differential is 1. Croatia's at -1 with a loss, and Scotland's at -2 with a loss.
Who plays tomorrow, Dubs?
England, Scotland.
What's going to happen?
Your twin.
It's your twin versus your country.
I want to say like 2-2 because I think that Southgate's going to play. You think he's going to play Sterling again?
If he plays Sterling,
dude, I'm gonna go like 2-1. Scott McTominay goal.
Love to hear that.
That would be nice.
Pure passion, just a pure passion goal.
Pure passion. He's gonna knee side
something in the box.
I would love to see that, honestly.
No,
all right.
No, top of the box pill. That's what I want from him.
That'd be great.
But we do.
You're reaching.
We do have to. We do have to talk about England and the lineup
the squad
that
selection.
Southgate produced. And I'll just hit on the 3 things that I thought were questionable. I'm not going to be mean to the guy because they won the game. Left back of Trippier, when Luke Shaw was arguably the best left back in the Prem.
He was the best left back.
I was gonna say in the world, but then I kind of held back.
Who's better?
Yes, Luke Shaw should have been playing. He's a natural left back. Why are we bringing a right back? Yeah, or Chilwell. We can go even farther. Both of them are probably a better pick than Trippier.
I was waiting for you to say it while I'm doing this.
So then another one for me was Jack Grealish not seeing the pitch at all. That blew my mind because it's arguably they played Croatia first. So it was not arguably, it was the most important game in their group and one of the best players in the Prem that year. He's coming off an injury, yada, 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 but still, regardless, the man needed to see the field.
He's different.
Exactly. The man needed to see the field, and he did not. He didn't. I was just so frustrated. Man wasn't even warming up. I did not like Southgate's selection of not even letting him see the field at all.
How about Sancho not even on the bench?
Yeah. Chilwell not even on the bench.
See, that's what I want to know. Like, what was the choice for them being left out?
Doesn't it? You've coached. It just. I feel like I know I don't have a ton of experience as a coach, but it just seems like there are certain coaches that like no matter what they have to have their imprint on the team. Like they could never just let their best 11 go out.
Yep, they want to be talked about.
They want to be the guy who I made the choice to take this great player out and play this role player, and therefore it won us the team.
I'm gonna get all credit,
and it drives me absolutely insane when that happens. I get that vibe from Southgate.
I will say, to play devil's advocate to that, it's like I listened to Gary Neville talk about it, and he was giving Southgate a bunch of credit because he spent more time around this group of players than anybody.
That's always true.
You know what I mean? So, like, he knows the ins and outs. And here's the thing. It's like, obviously this podcast is going to come out Wednesday. England plays tomorrow. Like, say he plays Jack Grealish tomorrow. Say he plays Sancho. Say England look great.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, those guys played one less game, got past their toughest game, and now are just...
Yeah, that would, to me, look bad.
I don't think it looks bad, but I also think
It would look to me like he got very lucky.
I think he's going to continue rotating the players.
You can't rotate the players like this right now.
I think you definitely can. Because Harry Maguire's back, he's coming straight in the starting lineup.
when the players, the best players that are there and give your team the best chance to win will be the team that you want to play and start building chemistry to when they need to play against the best teams under pressure, they'll beat them.
See, I disagree because it depends on who you're playing against.
How many games do you play in this tournament? 8?
There's certain games. There's certain games where Jordan
7 games in this tournament. I don't think there's time for that, but that's my opinion.
Yeah, but also
I could be wrong, but I think that's a poor decision.
Recent injuries and everything that's been going on this year.
Croatia's weaker than I think they look weaker than they've ever looked. In the past 10 years.
Well, they lost 3 of their key players that retired from the team.
Yeah, it just can't be done. Cerna was their true leader. He's gone.
Rakitic retired, Mandzukic retired, and their goalie Subasic retired.
And after Cerna playing, the right back from Shakhtar. Yeah, he was their captain. Yeah,
4 players are gone.
I just don't think
they looked like shit. I understand, but the fact that you play that team, did Jack look happy?
No.
It doesn't seem like the right thing to do in tournaments, and it seems to me like he's just trying to do too much.
Very well could, but I also think that the 11 we saw first game if they go far in the tournament, I don't think the big games. I don't think that's the 11 we're going to see.
We'll see.
I know. I don't. Is that a good idea? Do you think that's a good idea?
I think the one guy we're missing that we haven't touched on.
What do you think about that? Because I think it kind of seems like that's Southgate's plan. What you're saying, and it worked in game 1. So you can't just dog him for it. Do you think that's a good strategy?
I don't know, man. I'm kind of split. I think at this stage of a tournament, they had how many friendlies did they have before?
A few. And they had World Cup qualifiers.
They had World Cup qualifiers and 2 friendlies before the tournament. That might have been the chance for you to rotate.
And they kind of went with a squad more built from those qualifiers than they did guys that didn't get to go to those qualifiers.
But Trippier didn't play left back in any of those qualifiers.
Yeah. See, that's the kind of thing that makes me think Southgate wants the attention on himself. Why in the hell would you play Trippier at left back when you have the best left back in England in Luke Shaw?
You just stripped him
young
of his
Luke
confidence.
Shaw. Yeah.
Unless you went up to him and said, look, it's going to be part of the English plan where we just deceive our opponents and we're going to play Trippier on the left today. And so then they put a more aggressive wing back up and you can exploit their space later on in the tournament. That could be a thing. But to me, it's just far too big of a risk, even against Croatia. And you still have to bet on Luke Shaw and those players Luke Shaw got cut from the team in the World Cup. He should have gotten to play, and he did not get to play in last year of the World Cup.
He didn't go, did he?
No, he didn't get to. I'm pretty sure it was last cut.
Yeah, he didn't go.
To tell him that he has to be the one to sit this out, and what if Trippier
after a year,
say Trippier plays hella good, you think he has trust in Southgate that Trippier might not just take a spot? It just seems like to me the poor thing to do. It worked, and Jack Grealish gets more rest. And shit like that. So it could go both. I see it going both ways. I disagree.
I think the one player we haven't said that was the best player in the field is Calvin Phillips.
Oh, 100%. He was.
He's the one that when I did see it, he's the one that I didn't expect. I expected fucking Sterling. I definitely expected Grealish, but I didn't expect Calvin Phillips. And he was all over the field.
Yeah.
He was absolutely unbelievable.
The
assist on the goal.
Yeah, and you sent the stat in. His first half, he was 18 for 18 on passes.
Yeah, his only player did miss a pass.
He very, very much impressed me. And I agree. When I first saw it and I saw the midfield, I was not expecting to see him on that list. I thought it was going to be Hendo, to be honest.
Or even Mount as the box-to-box.
Yeah, exactly.
With Foden
and then something like that was what I was thinking. But as the game progressed, I was like, all right, you got that one right. He played very well. Now, I think he could have?
We'll see if he can do that.
Yeah, you're right.
An insanely talented.
That's what I was just about to say.
On his ass, Conte on his ass. You think he can do that?
Nope. I don't think many people can.
He might be able to. He played pretty good. I don't think he can.
Yeah, we'll see.
If Calvin Phillips keeps this up, you had said a few moments ago about Locatelli from Italy. About this is the chance for stars to be born.
Calvin Phillips would immediately be
Phillips
because that role that he's playing.
He's going to get looked at by some big clubs if he has a great tournament.
Crazy at it. It's like that Southgate with you got your Hendo from Liverpool's captain, and he says, "No, I'm gonna take the Leeds boy, and I'm gonna put him right in the heart of my center midfield." I
feel like Hendo might be more willing than Luke Shaw to be like, I'll let him play a game if you tell me that I'm going to be able to.
No, Hendo's a captain and leader. He's the guy that's
but it's a guy like Luke Shaw that I think they need desperately at some point.
Him or a Chilwell type of player. Yeah. 100%.
Chilwell kind of took that at Chelsea for a little bit. He literally stepped back and let Alonso play over him, and then he ended up playing the big games. just the way that they cut out Shaw, because as soon as I started thinking about that, I remembered the headlines and everything coming from the World Cup.
Yeah,
I think they might have.
And I'd also want to. I mean, of course, we'll never.
He's my boy.
I want to see his mental state of where Luke Shaw is. Is he more of a? Is he in his head thinking like, "Oh, I'm a team player"?
On the field and ball out. That's what he wants to fucking do.
Yeah, true. I just.
He's been hurt his entire career. He should be. He was supposed to be one of the best left backs in the world when he was 16.
The thing for me is the thing about Luke Shaw is what he improved and was so good at this season is he was the highest like per game chances created, like defender, not even defender, like players in the world.
Yeah, he was.
And then you toss a striker like Harry Kane in the box. Like it just doesn't make any sense to me to play Trippier on the left side.
You watch it too. England's like team has good possession skills. Like Luke Shaw loves to pass, work in, pass, get back outside. Like his tiki taka is like very good.
I think I'm just mad. Like imagine him and Grealish on the left hand side.
Instead, we got Trippier and Sterling.
Fuck,
like
dude.
what? Okay,
right,
but one thing I wanted to touch on.
He was gonna go through.
Well, one thing I wanted to touch on about this group is so the winner of this group plays the second place of F, which is the group of death. So they're if right now the way it sits, Portugal's at 1 and France is at 2. So if England wins this group, they play France in the first round of the knockouts. I was talking to Dobes about this. Do you throw a game? Not saying throw it, but like do you play? And it's England, so I'm going to say, do you play your youngsters? I mean, their youngsters are freaking incredible. But, like, as a coach, I really wanted to get your mindset of
It's been a thing in past tourneys.
I think sucks about England is their subs and their starters, whoever you play, should win.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean?
What is your take on a situation like that where it's probably better for you not to finish first in your group, and you should probably try and lose a game so you have a better team to face in the knockouts?
Work like
I'm never a firm believer in that.
Okay.
I'm going to win every game, man. I mean, I'm not.
To be the best.
You're bowing to
no,
that team when you
I
meet
agree.
them later.
I agree. I just wanted to see.
No, it's always talked. I remember that being talked about in like every major tournament I watch.
That's because if you think about it, it's literally the difference. I'm pretty sure the difference is like them playing Germany, France, or Portugal, or like.
But you get what
Finland,
I'm saying,
Russia.
right?
I think.
To me, it comes down to one point.
Of course.
You are acknowledging to that team when they see your lineup come out. The top team's gonna look at them like they're scared as shit to play us.
Yeah.
Game over when you play them in the semis or the finals.
That's just definitely not Southgate's mentality, in my opinion. I get it, and obviously, no matter what tournament it is, it's going to be a conversation because it's something to talk about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's something that'll make the headlines, but I just think even England's squad is too good to even. They shouldn't lose a game.
And personally, playing France, Portugal, or Germany, like France and Germany is better than Portugal, but I mean it's a tournament. Portugal is no lacquer either. I want them, but who knows?
Yeah, and I also wanted to throw this out there just as a little dig to you guys. It was the first time in I don't know how many years that England didn't feature a starter from Liverpool or United. Just thought I'd say that.
And we just spent 20 minutes saying how wrong that was.
Well, I agree, but I'm just saying. No Liverpool or United playing for England.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's to me, that is literally Southgate. Like trying to like put a stamp in the history books. I won in the Euros opening game without playing for the first time ever. Like that dude pisses me off. On God.
Okay, so who do we think is advancing from this group? It's Czech Republic, England, Croatia, Scotland. I think that Scotland isn't out. I think that they may have a chance to go up one over Croatia, but we shall see.
If they beat England, they'll be riding high.
Yeah.
I think England and Croatia will end up getting the top twos, and I think it's going to be a fight between the Czechs and the Scots.
Czech versus Croatia is going to be absolutely insane, bro. That's a rivalry.
Yeah, and it really also depends. Like the thing about Croatia is their midfield is unbelievable, but can they score goals?
Yeah,
we saw them struggle to create some chances against England. Can they consistently produce in the final third?
Yep, I agree.
Without Mandzukic anymore, can they have somebody who can put the ball in the net?
Speaking of teams that are struggling to find the net, let's talk about the next group in Spain.
Hold on, who's getting through?
We already said it. England and Croatia is what he picked. I picked Scotland and England. Who'd you pick?
That's a hot take.
Czech and England.
Okay. Ooh, that's a hot take.
I kind of like that.
I don't think it's that hot of
The Czechs are good. The Czechs are good.
Yeah, I mean, they're at top right now with 3 points and two goal differential.
How about the goal Patrick Schick scores?
Oh my word!
For those of you who didn't see it,
tournament.
he scored a goal from halfway line. The goalie was off his line, and the ball was like kicked in front of him a little bit. He looked up, saw him off his line, and just hit a missile.
Thanks for coming.
And that thing bent. I don't know if you saw from like behind the goal. It like freaking came all the way around.
The coolest pictures, they show a picture from right behind, and the goal is here, and the ball is all the way over here. And it's like this went in.
This goes in.
It was wild. What a goal.
I'm with you. I'm going with you.
All right.
Group
E. I'm just going to break down again. In first right now, Slovakia with 1 win and a goal differential 1. In second place is Spain with a draw and 1 point. Sweden with a draw as well and 1 point. Poland with a loss, -1 goal differential and no points.
The first thing, most important thing about this group is Poland lost off a red card.
100%.
And did anyone watch the red card?
Soft.
Second yellow,
It was double
right?
yellow.
Krakowiak.
First yellow, complete nonsense. He deserved a yellow.
Yeah.
And then some.
I was going to say, because I'm pretty sure it was a break and he
it was bad.
Yeah.
Blatant, didn't give any effort. Yep. And then the second one was like a mistiming of a stomp on a toe. And it's metal cleats on toes. Like, I've broken my foot the Vianney game. It's really shitty, but like, I could decide a whole entire team's tournament just off of like a total. I get it, and like.
So are you saying you wouldn't give the red?
I'm just saying it hurts.
I don't think it's a second yellow.
There's a difference between a yellow and a second yellow. Unfortunately, like there isn't by the rule, but there really is.
Oh yeah,
and
of course, just like a pen is different than a normal foul.
It's just hard to see. More than it is, like I disagree with it. It's just really hard to see because I really favored Poland because more than anything, they have Yannick Bednarak playing center back. And he's a sleeper because their defense is just good in general, and he's like the one they don't talk about. I know how really good he is.
Been talking about it on the pod for a while.
So I was like, Poland's going to go far. They got low, and like, it hurts to see that. But go ahead.
One stat that kind of blew me away, and they talked about it on before that Poland game was Lewa in his last 11 appearances for Poland has 2 goals. And I thought that was really, really interesting because
he's a playmaker.
I say that it's interesting, but at the same time, he's coming from a Bayern Munich side where there's superstars everywhere around him. But
it's a good point.
And I believe, did you have Lewa as your Golden Boot winner?
Thought he was going to come alive.
Yeah. So
he's due.
He's not done. Yeah,
that's where I wanted to go with that. I don't think he's not going to score goals, but I just thought it was an interesting stat that the best striker in the world hasn't really been scoring for his country.
What did I say to you? He's going to bag a Hattie his first 2 games. I said that to someone.
He has to play a different role for Poland. He had dropped so much deeper for Poland than you'd ever seen from Bayern.
A lot of these superstars, like the big one for me was Gareth Bale with Wales. Like the man's freaking playing
that's
playing
almost like
center mid.
To be honest, that's not even good. You don't even want that.
No, I know, but
like you want him up the field taking 2 people out. Like,
I'm just saying it's interesting how the international game changes some of these players, and like they're demanding the ball more, and they're
who used to do that the worst time.
I hated he's looking at me.
Wayne Rooney.
Oh,
dude would literally go between his center backs, and could he spray the ball? Yeah, but to who? Like, he needed to go and score the goal.
Don't hate on the package right now, man.
Okay, so I don't want Butch to get off the hook for this yet.
No, I'm ready.
I want to go ahead. It's not even off the hook, but I want to hear your thoughts on that Spain game because in my mind, I do not think they looked good at all. I was very disappointed in them.
I want to preface Butch's take by saying I texted him right before the game and said, "What did you think of the lineup?" And what did you respond?
No Thiago.
Yeah, that pissed me off.
The sincerity in his voice.
And I took that personally.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you a question.
Okay.
What has looked good to you?
Yeah.
In front of net, they were...
Okay, in front of net, they didn't look good.
Atrocious.
I don't think you can say they didn't play well because they had almost 1,000 passes and they created chances.
But see the difference.
They had 900 chances.
But also at the same time, their passes were... What they were
pretty
passing
much just saying what
we can hold the ball.
What we were saying about Chelsea
exactly. That's what I saw. It was
half,
just boring possession. No, and nothing was dangerous.
In the first half, they had
just went with that.
In the first half, Spain looked fantastic.
Yeah, what you guys have been talking about Chelsea. Do I agree with what you guys are talking about Chelsea?
I don't.
Keep going.
No, I heard 4K saying
I heard him.
This is exactly what happened.
Yeah, clip it.
This is exactly what happened. The first half, Spain looked great. Morata misses the chance of the center of the tournament. Looks like absolute Timo missing from 5 yards. Breakaway. Let me put it wide of the right post. That changes the game. You have to. That's the problem with Spain is that I'm stirring the pot. Sprinkle a little seasoning on it, dude. They don't have okay.
When do they?
In the chat, I was obviously blowing up the chat during that game, right? I said something that Henry commented on. This shows you how important David Villa was in the golden era. They had a number 9 who could in Torres. They had 2 guys who could score in big tournaments and big games. Torres scores the game winner in the Euro 2008, beautiful goal. Okay, Euro 2012 and 2010 World Cup, David Villa lights it up.
Yep,
scored 6 goals in 2010 World Cup.
David Villa's unreal number 9, but also played the Spain style of play. He could combine, but also
everything.
Very
right now, they're relying on
Morata.
Alvaro Morata.
They just got to abandon that strategy.
That's what I was going to say.
9.
I've been looking at Spain's depth, and like I don't know as much as you do, but like no one like jumps out at me at like, oh, this person should be playing over Morata.
I think Gerard Moreno should play.
So do I.
He scored 30 goals for Villarreal. He won the Europa League. I'm sorry. He won the Europa League.
I agree with you, man.
And he was phenomenal. All he did all season was score. He's a guy who's in form. He's flourishing in front of goal. Play him.
Make a prediction. Obviously, this will come out. You think we're going to see him? Because I almost think, like, is it time that Enrique goes and says, "Hey,
Morata's got to be on a short leash."
Twin telepathy, Luis Enrique, and pick his brain on if he's playing.
If I'm Luis Enrique, I'm switching him.
I agree.
You have to switch him now, especially
the good
after
coach doesn't need a loss to learn he was wrong.
Exactly.
He can definitely make the tweak.
Moreno needs to start at center forward for the rest of the tournament. I think Morata is going to be if I was him, I would make him be the sub. And I'd be like, look, maybe you'll get in some games if we need a goal, but right now I'm going with the
put him in last
streak.
couple minutes, try to win a header.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just Moreno, he's earned
Cross
it.
that bridge when we come down.
He's
Kicks
earned
him
it.
to their corner.
And you want Thiago starting, of course.
Of course. I would love
There's no reason in a million years he shouldn't be.
Yeah. There was no reason he should have not started.
No, I agree.
There's no way.
As much as I dog him, I agree.
But like
different from
Rodri as a
Liverpool.
6 and then allow Thiago to be a box-to-box guy, it's like
I feel like it almost goes back to what we were just talking about with England and Southgate. Like I feel like it's so obvious of him to do it. Why is he not doing it? Why?
I will also say it's like
Thiago's a big ego too.
Yeah,
It definitely is.
But like we're a
huge ego.
Morata 1-0 goal in from saying Spain looked great.
Yeah, you are right. Well, it's the same thing with what England happened.
Yeah,
like,
but that's what I'm
Sterling
saying. Like we're 1 goal. They're a bunch of changes from being like they bossed that game.
That is true. That is their piece, though.
Yeah.
It's for sure striking.
Yeah, that's it. But I will say that Spain let off the gas in the second half. Because the first half, did you see them press?
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun
when
to
they
watch.
lose the ball.
They wanted the ball.
4 guys. It was like wolves,
Old
like
school.
watching
Yeah.
wolves hunt. It was just everyone around the ball, win it back, bang, 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 60 passes.
It was like it was in the old days.
Yeah, it was beautiful. And then second half, it was whoop, off the gas.
So another person I want to mention that I want to see your take on is the absence of Sergio Ramos. I think it plays a big part, not only just on the field, but like the locker room, being that leader and getting them fired
the
up.
cohesiveness.
Getting 1 red card, scoring 2 game-winning goals. Someone's got to spice things up.
Of course.
Well, missing him is obviously huge. He's the true leader. I mean, he brings everybody together. People look up to him. But right now, if you're Spain, you're relying on. I love Laporte, but who's playing next to him is a very young,
That blows my
very
mind
young
still,
Pau
but keep
Torres.
going.
He's sick.
That
Pau Torres
Laporte
is
plays for
fantastic.
Spain.
He's fantastic, Pau Torres, but he's very young. This is his first time playing in a big tournament for his national team. To have to fill the shoes of Ramos, if you're this young man, that's a huge ask. A lot of pressure's on his shoulders.
Big shutout early on.
I think when I look at it, it's like you look at that center back pairing and you compare them to the other teams in the tournament, and it's like, I mean, look at the Chiellini and Bonucci. It's like those guys have been there and done it forever. So I think that's what like can step in an international tournament when you have that like block of 2.
Tournaments matter like that.
Exactly.
They totally do.
Yeah. Exactly.
Center backs.
Your
can
center
do
back
something,
pairing, if
your
you
striker
have-
can do something.
Exactly.
and,
You
like,
have that pairing.
the rest
it's
of your
like
team.
you have confidence, and they're going through this tournament, still figuring that out. So
One player that I'm going to say for Spain, this is my last take on it, the most pressure, in my opinion, this guy is a coach's dream, is Koke.
I love Koke.
I do
Hella
like
good.
He's a
Koke as
coach's
well.
dream. There's going to be so much pressure on his shoulders because he's not going to come off. He's going to play every minute of this tournament. He's a leader for the team. He's a fantastic midfielder.
He's been due.
He's got to produce, and he's going to have to step up. Now that they've drawn that game, they have to win the last 2 games.
Yeah,
if they
who's
wanna
going
win the
through?
group. Spain. I think Spain's going through. I'm gonna say Spain and this is hard.
Yeah, Poland's got to play Spain.
I'm gonna say Spain, and I'm gonna go bold. I'm gonna say Sweden.
You say you go bold, but I was almost gonna say the same.
I think Sweden beats Slovakia.
I don't know.
I think I would go Spain.
This group's gonna get real weird if Poland wins.
Poland needs to win a game to make this exciting.
And you know what's crazy? They very well could.
No, yeah, for sure.
They lost because of the red card.
Exactly.
They were in complete control
Exactly.
of the game.
If Spain beats Poland tomorrow and Sweden beats Slovakia, they're in trouble.
Well, yeah, but
Wait,
we're saying
Poland,
what
Spain
if,
is tomorrow?
Yes, tomorrow or Saturday. Sorry, it's on
I was
Saturday.
gonna say.
So 2 days.
Son of a...
Sorry. But no, like if Poland loses to Spain and Sweden wins,
God, that's gonna be an
horrible for
amazing
them.
game,
I mean,
bro.
you have to stay Poland. So who are you going?
Oh,
with?
I'm staying Poland.
Okay.
So you have Spain and Poland?
Spain and Poland advancing.
That doesn't really work like that, though.
The numbers don't add up that way.
Poland, Slovaks. Martin Hamšík. Let's go. Martin Hamšík.
Hamshake.
He's
Oh my
finally got a
gosh.
good team behind him.
I'm going Spain, Slovaks. Staying with it.
Slovaks.
Slovakia.
Love that.
Yeah.
All right, the group of death, the last group, and the one that I want to talk about the most. So just to give you the rundown, Portugal's at top right now with 1 win, but their goal differential's 3. France is behind them with a win, and their goal differential's 1. Germany has a loss at -1, and Hungary has a loss at -3. So I said last podcast that I thought Hungary was going to advance. It's not looking great.
But they're not fucking leaving.
But I don't think they. I will admit I don't think
ya.
they're advancing anymore
Gone.
after that
Adios.
performance. I think that's when they needed to get their performance. But I wanted to say they did not play bad.
No.
They did not play bad at
No.
all. I thought
mean,
they
they're
were
here for a reason.
I thought for the first 70 and even the goals, like, sorry, we can get into the whole Ronaldo and
I
how
think
much I
they
hate
led their
that man.
World Cup qualifying group.
Really?
Yes,
Hungary's insane.
I would
Play
last
better.
podcast.
They play
they were-
better as a team than like anyone I've watched. I said that last year. As their press is unreal.
Yeah.
Now they have developed players that play in the Bundesliga. Last Euros when they went to the semis,
Quarters.
No.
I think,
Quarters.
quarters, and they lost on PKs to Ronaldo.
to Portugal.
Yeah, that's cool. But they had one dude that was good.
I thought you said Ronaldo.
And I think they had 2 guys that played in the major leagues. Now they had like 2 guys alone that played for Leipzig and they were good together. Like they're just
Yeah.
things are different.
Well, I was saying it
Hungary-
last podcast. Before the Euros, they were 7-0 leading up
Yeah.
to the Euros, and I'm pretty sure they had let in like 2 goals or something crazy like that. But I thought they were going to do well. That performance against Portugal, I thought they played well,
but they
of
have
course
to win those games.
I know, and of course the scoreline, and of course Ronaldo is going to get all the freaking credit because
No,
he
I
scores 2
watched.
shitter
I
goals.
watched.
I'm sorry, it just
this
made me
is where
so
I think
mad.
you're wrong. That he
Okay.
got a lot of credit because I think
I wasn't agreeing about that. I was. Just
I
agreeing
think
that the
now
game was
more
good.
than ever, especially with Benzema's quote that came out recently,
What did he say?
essentially talking about how like players become man of the match because they score 1 goal and don't do anything else.
Oh, I've only been saying that.
No,
for a
but that's what I'm
decade.
saying. But that's what I'm saying is after this performance, I think more than I've seen it all over social media everywhere, it's been talked about that like he wasn't that great.
I agree with that, but still the broadcasts and the headlines on ESPN is everything.
It's
is
because
Ronaldo.
what sells.
Yeah, exactly. It bugs me, and literally when the
Instead of it being Hungary played really well, it was a good game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When the penalty happened, I immediately knew. I was like,
I'm gonna-
gosh dang it.
That's
here
why
we
I
go
said
again.
got to get him his goal.
Exactly.
I'm gonna say Bruno Fernandes played really fucking
He-
good.
He impressed me. Another. I
He
thought.
should have had 2 assists.
Thought he played pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. But let's forget about Portugal because I don't even like them. France.
Player of the tournament bet's looking pretty good.
I was just about to say the man, the myth, the legend, Paul Pogba played a very good game.
Just let him go.
Well,
Played
I'm
a
not
very
saying
good game.
because it's my factor cap. So I'm
diehard Chelsea fan Nick Hayflinger.
Every Chelsea player on the roster, Paul Pogba.
Kepa.
Let's keep Kepa over Paul Pogba.
Get
All
a
right, keep
fucking
going.
Grip.
So
Yeah, I know, bro.
chill out. But I was very impressed with France's performance, even though the goal was an own goal. I thought it was a great ball from Pogba, great shielding of the players. I thought they looked very good. Germany, on the other hand, I was kind of confused with some of their play and play style. It wasn't normal Germany that we're used to. And also another thing that kind of confused me a little bit was some of their free kicks. They were having
they wasted those.
Bad. They have
butchered.
Wasted.
Bro. I was just very confused by some of the things they were doing. They have so much talent on their squad.
When the top dogs play the top dogs, those are huge plays.
You have Kimmich, probably arguably one of the best players in the world right now. He hits
a lot of them for Bayern.
And he hits a lot of free kicks. And he didn't even touch the ball. He literally, like, Kroos came over to the ball and was like, get the frick out of my way. And Kimmich was going into the middle.
I mean, not a bad option.
I know. I know. But when
Tony.
When Tony Kroos hits 2 into the stands, I think you would try and switch it up.
And I know that's the most consistent player of all time, Tony Kroos.
Okay.
Literally.
Guy's a baller.
But I want to get your guys' takes on the game.
I really wasn't. I thought Germany actually played pretty decent. I didn't think they played bad.
I wasn't.
And I didn't say Germany played bad. I just said it was different than what I'm normally used to watching Germany play.
They didn't dominate.
Yeah, they didn't dominate. There wasn't crazy possession by them.
They didn't play bad. I think when these big giants play each other, and specifically we already talked about international is different. A lot of these games come down to, like, it sounds simple, but just one-on-one player battle matchups. And, like, Kimmich got completely worked all game by Hernandez.
Yep.
He was supposed to be their wild card, their spark, their everything. Got completely shit on by his Bayern teammate to the point where Kimmich probably could have got a red card for trying to kick him in the face in, like, the 65th minute.
Absolutely.
So
should have probably.
Those man matchups, and, like, Kroos and Conte was, like, kind of neutralized.
It was Kroos Pogba.
Kroos, but, like, I'm saying, like, as far as, like, levels of in the midfield of, like, being good and bad, like, Kroos played to the level in the middle that, like, countered out Conte, but the difference was Pogba outplaying what's his name?
Gundogan.
Ilkay, because Ilkay was kind of handicapped having to sit back. Didn't they play another midfielder?
No, they played those two.
Those two.
Yeah,
Mueller, they played they played a 5. They had 5 in the back, right? Yeah,
it was 3 center backs with 2 wing backs, and then you had your 2 in the middle, and then you had Mueller, Gnabry.
It's just the little things that, like, tilt the scales like that. It just seemed like a lot of the player battles went to France.
Yeah.
But, like, the flow and ebb of flow of play just seemed to me like the two teams were exactly even.
Yeah.
Like, Germany could pull up and Kimmich could win that battle over Thiago, and things could look different. But I thought they were balanced, honestly.
I think we're going to see when watching that game.
It'd be awesome to see them again.
Completely agree. That game was. I mean, France did have two goals called offsides, but I do think we're going to see that front three of France only continue to get better as a term.
Just like they did last time.
How
Mbappe
good is Mbappe?
Holy, and it's not. He's great, but the speed
is
the fast literally atrocious.
He made that run in, like, the 80th minute, and he
Mueller against Hummels.
Who's fast?
Yes,
Hummels is fast. Don't you for a second say Hummels is slow.
And made him look like a snail.
It was bad,
dude. That was the fastest. 50-yard
Phil
sprint.
Foden, same category as Mbappe.
I
think we might have jumped the gun on that one because that dude's an alien.
He had chances too where, like, I think if he would have chose not to shot, because he's very selfish and he needs to be, but he had chances where he would cut back as he was playing on the left, which is, like, I think in this team it's the most dangerous spot he could possibly be. But there was chances where he could have slipped Benzema in or slipped in Griezmann, and I think it would have been 2 or 3.
And he was offsides.
Yeah, and he was offsides.
You were the fastest man in the world, and you're telling me you're offsides?
But I just think if he
one of them he wasn't offsides for his goal.
Oh,
someone else was offside.
It wasn't him on one of the goals. It got called back. I think it might have been Benzema or something.
Mm-hmm.
He wasn't offside. It was not even like he wasn't. And one of the ones that he got called offside for, he wasn't even offside. I'm pretty sure on the VAR.
I vividly remember seeing him offside.
Yeah, he was
goals.
On the half line one.
They were offsides.
The one that Pogba played him the ball.
Both goals called back were offsides. Barely, they were offsides.
Pogba is going to continue to dominate because Conte will do the dirty work for him. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
There was a play, and I'm gonna go back and record it, and I'll send it to all you guys, where Pogba has the ball and he makes a pass in the offensive third, and it goes to the middle of the field, and it gets disrupted, and Conte is up on the up, and Pogba's jogging back, and there's like 3 Germany players with him, and Pogba has to, like, make a decision whether it's like he either gets goal side of the ball or he, like, just stays and lets a defender step to him and he picks up more runners coming in. And it's like they had a 1 number up advantage. So he tells the center back, he goes, step to him. So then that guy passes the ball, and Pogba reads the third pass coming off. But he had like directed traffic in such an elaborate way where he was literally telling, like, you could see him making the decision on the fly where he was like, okay, do I chase this or do I use it? I'm going to tell you to go here and then I'm going to go. But a lot of times that stuff goes kind of unsaid. Yeah. But like just to see him like direct the traffic, I had never seen Pogba do anything of that level. Like where he was playing real chess on defense.
Puts that France jersey on, man.
But like that was like, I mean, you watch him all the time. That's why when you said what you were saying, I was like, I just saw something unlocked in him that I've never seen before.
So much of that is definitely, and the individual like moments of brilliance and stuff like that is there. Like Paul, I fully believe it's not like it just switched on, but I fully believe he has that situational awareness. He still has that with United. I just think for whatever reason he chooses not to unlock it, whether it be the players around him, whether it be whatever. But with France, it seems like I almost feel like he knows he has those players around him, and his confidence level is just elevated that much to where it takes his game to a whole nother level.
Why wouldn't it?
But that's exactly what I'm saying. But like, we need to save the Pogba talk, but it's like Pogba for France and Pogba for United are 2 completely different players.
See, and we don't have to get into it. I just disagree with that, but we'll keep going. Okay, so I really want to hear your guys' takes on it. Who do you guys?
How much time do we have left?
Doesn't matter. Regardless, I want to see who you guys think is advancing out of this group because I think it's a big hot take.
France is winning the group.
I think France is winning the group, but I truly think Portugal may edge out Germany.
I think this is going to be a group where 3 go through.
Well, yeah, I agree with that. So but I'm saying, I think Portugal will finish second, and I think Germany.
These teams are going to try and kick the shit out of Hungary, bro. Portugal's not going through.
So you think like not at all, or they? Okay.
I mean, they might slide in the 3.
Okay. France.
But Portugal, France won the game. That game was for the top of the group. So France gets number 1. Germany gets number 2.
In my opinion, the France-Portugal game is for top of the group.
Love that. Alrighty. So Euros. I don't know if you guys wanted to move on. And talk about
how much time do we have?
We're at an hour.
Let's do. I say we do top 3s, and then we can do factor cap.
Let's do it.
After watching
based on what we've seen, I'm down.
Okay, I also want to give a little. We'll talk about 5 minutes of the Copa America because I definitely think that needs to be talked about a little. But I'll go first for my top 3. Are we saying top 3 teams in the tournament right now for us?
Yeah, just your favorites.
France 1. I'll probably go Italy 2, and then my 3rd would probably be England.
That's based on performances?
Yep.
Huh?
Keep going.
Yo, this is the factor cap section, right? We're capping him.
Wait, what?
What's your cap?
What's your cap? Which one?
First of all, England doesn't look like one of the best teams in the tournament.
Yeah, but I think they will finish in top 3.
And neither did France.
I disagree with that. They played Germany and played well.
Own goal.
The best team right now, in my opinion, is Italy.
Yeah.
That's why they're my 2.
Most complete.
Yeah, but look who they're playing. France played Germany.
No, I understand, but like
we're going off performances.
Yeah,
like the way
against Germany.
For me, Italy's my number 1.
Easily.
Okay.
For sure. They've just been unbelievable. I would say Belgium's up there. Belgium's probably in it. They've looked pretty good. And then, I mean, it's hard. France, that's a big win for them. I like it. I like the Dutch.
See now I think it's a cap that France is.
It scares me too.
3.
You said France.
No, France is not in his top 3.
No, the France and the Dutch, like it can go either way. Like
you can't do that.
We've seen one France game. They haven't played the second game yet, so it's hard to kind of give it. We've seen 2 games from the Dutch and Italy.
This podcast has come out and France hits his second gear in game 2.
Yeah,
and it's
100%. I mean, I'll put France in it, but I'm just saying the Dutch, man. I've been impressed with how they have won these games.
France showed me the same thing that they showed me in the last tournament, which was even if they're like not able to dominate the game, they can still find a way to win. Less about the own goal, more about they generated goal scoring chances almost at will when it mattered. I imagine they're going to start going in just like they did in the last tournament without Benzema. So like the ability to get the chances, because they're getting the best chances, whether they go in or not. Like their chances are insane, and they're going to. For me, it seems like they get them with the most ease. Absolutely. Like against the best, against probably the best defense in the tourney. For me, France is number 1. Italy is tough to put it to just because of their competition that they're playing right now. but I'd still probably they look really good. It's either them or Belgium for me, and 2 or 3 it's hard. Probably Italy, Belgium.
Italy, France, Belgium. Chalk it.
Love it. All right, Butchie, you want to talk about the Copa America a little bit?
Yeah. So for all of our listeners,
they tied 0-0, by the way.
They finished 0-0.
Colombia. Okay.
Yeah, Colombia, Venezuela.
So for all of our listeners, we are so blessed this summer to have so many tournaments. The Copa America has just started. The big South American international tournament, and we had some tasty games already.
Very tasty. These are electric.
Argentina.
Look at that. They're going to need him.
Oh, 100%. Argentina played Chile in their opening game, and that was one of the biggest bloodbaths. Oh, my gosh.
Leo was Leo.
So Lionel Messi scored an absolute worldly free kick, and then Chile, that PK.
Soft.
So soft.
I was,
So
Arturo
soft.
Vidal missed a PK, and then Eduardo Vargas scored the follow-up after it was saved. That was a hell of a save by Martinez,
Hell of a
by the
save.
way.
I think he is a top goalie.
He was great.
He is.
This tournament, that was the biggest game we've seen so far. 2 heavyweight South American teams, but this tournament has 4 of the best teams in the world playing in it in Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, and Chile. Those are going to be the 4 that we kind of focus on. I think personally, I don't think Colombia is going to make a run in this tournament.
Yeah.
They didn't take James, by the way. I don't know if you guys know that.
Yeah, I saw it.
He didn't make the squad.
They kind of always they've had struggles in the last couple Copas, but at the same time, you're Chile, the best team in the world. They're good.
Chile?
Their best players are old.
But you can never.
Who do they have?
But you can never count
it's
them
more
out.
it's more of just the Argentina Chile. Like I don't know if you watched the game, but that game.
Yeah, no, I know.
From minute 2 was a bloodbath.
Oh, yeah.
And I just
Yellow
think that
They
like
bring it. Yeah.
Yellow card.
Yeah.
And
Foul.
it's definitely that's one thing I've noticed when watching these Copa America games is just the difference in like
Intensity.
the Euros games, and those are just literally night and day with like the intensity and like
Fans are fighting each other.
just going harder into tackles and like the emotion behind everything that they do is very fun to watch.
It's different in South America, man.
Yes.
It's different. But I would
Pick your
say
winner for us.
so. This is what I wanted to ask you guys. Like, we're gonna go more in depth into the Copa America over the next few episodes that we have as the tournament progresses.
Absolutely.
But maybe this episode we can kind of predict who we think's gonna win it, because that's what we did last episode with the Euros.
Sounds good. And just for your guys' knowledge, the way it's set up is there's 2 groups with 5 teams, right? And in the 2 groups, 4 advance. So only 1 leaves, and then 4 advance to knockout play. And then it's a knockout play from there. Group A is Colombia, Brazil, Venezuela, Peru, Ecuador. Group B is Paraguay, Argentina, Chile, Uruguay, and Bolivia.
That Group B is wild. How Uruguay, Chile, and Argentina got in the same group, and then Brazil gets stuck with Venezuela and Ecuador.
a little Eddie Cavani and Luis Suarez up top, bro.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if I had to predict, I'm gonna be honest.
You guys are old.
I'm not showing bias. I think this is finally. I think we're seeing the year. I think Messi lifts it.
I don't.
I think this is the most complete Argentina we've
I
seen.
agree. No Higuain.
Best balance.
No
Thank
Higuain.
God.
We've said that.
Thank God.
Said that every year.
But this is
It's still true. This is the best.
Their defense is much more solid than it was at the 2014 World Cup, at the 18 World Cup. Marcos Rojo's
Mascherano, Marcos Rojo.
Last time it wasn't them. It was
Now we got Titi.
it was
Otamendi.
the guy from starts with a G. Gago, maybe.
Gago
Yeah.
in midfield.
No, he played center back for the guy played for Zenit and left. Like their center backs. Who's their center
Oh,
backs?
Garay.
Oh, Ezekiel
Garay.
Garay. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
No, their center backs have been getting better. Him and Mascherano's not bad. Who is it right now?
Right now they've got Otamendi, and then they have
Diaz.
a young Argentinian kid that's playing. He's very good. He was very good in the first game. I think his last name is Martinez.
Portugal.
But what I'm saying is, like, I think they've left out some big names in the past, like Higuain, guys who have just botched big moments.
Huge moments.
Messi could have 2 trophies if it wasn't for Higuain.
I watched. I was just about to say. I love how I say
your
TikTok.
picks.
I'm telling you, I just think this is the year. I think he finally does it.
I mean, it helps that Brazil is starting Fred in their center midfield.
Hey, I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, I know.
Fred started over Fabinho.
Yeah.
Fred's good, bro.
Over Fabinho? What?
Is that a big cap?
That's a huge cap.
I was gonna say the only team, and I don't know much about some of these other teams, but Brazil I feel like is the only team, in my opinion, that could really mess up Argentina's run.
Don't ever. I'll be honest. Don't count out
Uruguay.
Guys.
Yeah.
Don't count out Uruguay. Don't count them out.
I'm going with the GOAT.
You're going with
Argentina.
Yeah.
I hope I want him to lift the trophy.
It's one of those things where if they lose this time,
do you think this could be the end for Leo if they lose? Like, let's say they lose the final.
It just looks so bad, bro.
It depends on how the games go.
Whatever, man. I guess.
You're gonna tell me they go out and Leo has like 2 goals, has a couple of assists, and they lose like 3-2 in the next couple of games.
That can't happen though. Like if he plays like that, the team won't allow that. Like
Messi has done that and put sitters on Higuain.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Because those past teams were shit. But I mean, it's for 15 years straight. You can only give him so much time. Like,
I agree.
And I don't think Ronaldo winning the Euro. Like Ronaldo won the Euros in the least valuable way possible to his team. Yeah. Like, and he still gets all the praise and shit. Like, I don't like it being so cutthroat either. Like he needs to win or else. But like, the Copa is easier to win than the Euros. Like. His team's far superior than the other teams in this Copa.
Yeah, I agree.
He needs to win this.
Yeah,
Copa.
There's some teams in the Copa that aren't. Yeah, I see what you're saying for sure.
If he wins this, I mean, he's the amount of pressure off his shoulders to finally do something with his country. That's something he's wanted for so long.
Something Maradona did.
Yeah, and
he always plays better than Ronaldo does for Portugal most of the time in international play.
Messi carries this team on his back.
He plays pretty well. So I don't like saying it like this, but it's just because the competition to me is so much easier, bro. He needs to win this.
So
I'm with that.
2 Argentinas, Nick. Who are you choosing?
I'm gonna go Argentina as well. I think Brazil will be a fun game to watch.
You think Argentina? This is the year. Come on.
Alrighty.
Javier Pastore will not let my man down. I love him.
Alrighty. 3rd edition of Factor Cap. Butch,
All right,
what you
guys.
got with me? I have a feeling I'm gonna love this.
I have a
So
feeling
let's go.
that water bottle might get thrown against that screen.
Oh God, Butch, bro.
Here we
don't
go.
have
Say
time
it.
for
We got
this.
5 minutes. We got 5
Say
minutes.
it.
All right.
I have nothing to do. I got
you
all
ready?
time
Me
for
too.
this.
All right.
That's it.
3rd edition of Factor Cap
Cap.
Cap.
is this.
He said fact, so I know it's Cap.
Is this.
I don't know what it is.
Uh-huh.
I have no idea what it is. I really don't.
Just say it.
I've just
bitch.
been waiting.
Just
Say
say
it.
it.
Paul Pogba only shines for France because of guys like Conte.
Well, okay. Whoa.
Remember when we did this last time? You get to say Factor Cap.
Paul Pogba only shines for France because of players like N'Golo Kante.
Cap. That's the big. Everyone in this table should fucking say Cap. You're telling me the talent of Paul Pogba doesn't make him?
Does he shine for United?
It doesn't.
Bro,
Yeah, you're telling me that
He
Conte
does.
is the
No,
sole
bro.
reason
No.
that Pogba shines for France. Bullshit. Did you watch that game? The man played out of his freaking mind.
He's
Why?
playing Conte's role for United.
No, he's not.
What?
What does Bruno get to do?
He's playing left wing for fucking
He is
United. It's
nowhere-
the dumbest
no,
thing
he's
ever.
not.
Okay,
What does Bruno do for United?
But hold on.
What position does he play on the field?
Talk to the United fan.
He plays like a left wing.
Bruno.
No,
Bruno
Pogba
plays
plays
a
a
10.
left wing.
Pogba plays the left wing.
Bruno's
So
a 10.
the
Bruno's
role
10.
that Pogba wants and could be the best in
Yeah.
is taken on the field.
Yep.
Yes.
And it's allowed to be there because in France. But you're saying that that's not what gives him the success. It's specifically just one other player who's really good.
This is the first. I didn't
No.
give a Factor Cap. All I
No, but we've talked about this outside of it.
Oh, absolutely. And
So,
what I'm saying
and I'm
is,
not just directing this at you. I'm saying this at you as well. I'm saying that I think it's very much more realistic that it's because of his positioning that he's not. He has confidence.
first year he's played left wing.
It's not about playing left wing. It's before that he was playing holding mid. He was never been able to get like Fred playing there and becoming a box to box next to him does not provide him the freedom that it does with France. And
So what you're saying is when he can play.
I'm saying if you sacked Bruno and got a holding mid that wanted to play holding mid, and you got Pogba and played him up as a 10 or a true 8 with offensive freedom, he would still ball out of control because of decisions that he's making in the France team.
So what do you think United's missing to make him play well?
A holding mid.
What's Conte?
Conte. I said any holding mid.
But that's what I'm saying.
But that's
You guys are saying Conte.
no, but that's like my Factor Cap. Like
He's playing out of position for United.
A player like Conte
But even
is
when
what
he's-
makes Pogba
even when
shine.
he's
But
played
when
in
you say a player
position-
like Conte, you're saying probably the most valuable player on the tournament. He in the world. He can't do it unless the most valuable player in the world is with him. That's what you guys are saying. You're not saying another holding mid.
I'm saying I literally just said another holder. I said what is United missing?
Yeah, and I said a holding mid. And you said, so what does Conte play? And then I said, it's not about Conte being, because when you say Conte is the narrow form of the argument, you're saying one of the best holding mids in the world ever.
But specifically, what Conte like makes easier for Pogba is what allows him to only have to shine in those moments of brilliance.
He just because you have someone that's willing to offset the defensive load, which is how it should be in every single team, doesn't mean that he's reliant and can't do it without it. He showed this last game. This what bothers me so much is watching this Germany game and watching his defensive prowess when Conte is nowhere to be found on the pitch. Conte's all over the place. He's doing insanely well, but there are specific instances where Conte is nowhere. He's carried the ball up. Conte on France is carrying the ball up more than he does on any other team he's playing. He's getting involved in the offense. Pogba's playing more back than I've ever seen him play with France. And the way that he was breaking up passes at such a high intelligence level, bothers me to say that he can't shine unless Conte's there.
So why does
my whole thing is, when have we seen it?
Yeah, but why does he shine for France?
Juventus?
That's 4 or 5 years ago.
We've seen it. Yeah, but United is a dog shit program since he got there.
They're
a poorly run team.
But it's also saying Pogba's played in the role as an 8 for United when we've had a
poorly run team,
a holding mid, not as good as
who was the holding mid?
Not as exactly, not to Conte's level, not the guy that can do that dirty work. But when Pogba has to do that dirty work,
who was their holding mid?
McFred. Who else do we have? Fellaini. A bunch of different guys played holding mid.
Matic.
Yeah, so how about
Matic?
Man, Matic was a good player that got ran out of the team. That one never made sense to me. I guess some injuries and shit, but a real holding mid, not like McFred, Fred is a box-to-box player. They tried to make him that. On Shakhtar, he was scoring goals. He was basically their 10.
Bro, I'm agreeing with you. I'm just saying that over the last couple of years, we haven't seen Pogba reach that level when he hasn't been with Conte.
Yeah, it's an easy argument to have when you frame it.
That's exactly when you frame
it. But that was my question.
Yeah, but it's so easy to say cap because the only way that you guys can prove it is just the way that it is because Conte's there and he plays well. We can't say take Conte out and put someone else in.
And you're acting like he has never played good in a United shirt ever.
No,
the man has
nobody's
played soccer.
He's never got to that level.
Yeah,
but
ever.
His consistency.
He can't get to that level.
It's not his consistency; it's United's consistency.
No, his consistency is not always there. But there's more games to United than there are to France. In the short sample size of games that matter for France, he is there.
Is Paul Pogba a superstar?
Absolutely.
Then superstars got to change the game. Why doesn't he change it for United? Why isn't he consistent if he's a superstar?
What do you mean? He is consistent. He plays a great game every time he comes out.
Superstar players have to be superstars every day.
Okay. No. So it's very similar to Thiago. Pogba doesn't have goals or assists. He's playing in a position that he's not glamorous and he's not in front of goal and he has to do all this grunt work for United. And that goes unnoticed because he's Pogba. And when he was a superstar, he was scoring goals and getting assists. He's still a superstar. He's still playing great games for United.
This is where you see who watches United every single week and follows them in the training and everything like that. And for the last 4 years. And then somebody that's a Pogba fanboy.
So you think his level of play has been the same since day one he got to United to right now?
When he first arrived at United, he was poor. He's had moments of brilliance in big games against City in the Europa League final, in games where he's won us games and been a match winner. But then when a superstar has had too many games where he's been walking on the field, his head is down.
Ronaldo?
We're talking about Paul Pogba. I'm rating Paul Pogba.
You said superstar. Is Ronaldo a superstar? People can walk around, but Pogba doesn't walk around that much, bro. I think this gets drawn over. I think it just gets drawn out. I think it's over-exaggerated. And I think Conte is the pinnacle of that, saying that he can only be good if the greatest holding mid of all time is behind him. If you said,
when was the last time we've seen it?
When's the last time he hasn't played with Conte?
But exactly. So
when's
what
the last
we're saying
time he's
is
played bad?
It's a cheat code to say.
Watch the United games we played to end the season. Watch the Europa League final.
It's not
okay. And you think Pogba played ass?
Our whole team played like ass.
It's
Scott McTominay outplayed him by a mile.
That's true.
By a mile. You just asked me to ask him the last time he played bad.
You think Pogba was better than McTominay in the final?
I wouldn't say better, but Pogba didn't have a bad game.
McTominay played
good.
That was one of the best games McTominay's played in his life.
I know, and I just said that he didn't. That I just said that I don't think he played better, but Pogba did not have a bad game.
Just because someone has a better game than you doesn't mean that you're not a superstar. But my point is, when you say it with Conte, and just because yes, it's in your favor that they've only played together because he's the best holding mid to play for France. It is a cheap shot and an integrally weak argument to use against Pogba because it can't be defended. But anyone who can elaborate on a thought process can say, hey, if I were to plug someone else into France, what would happen?
We don't know.
Ball out.
You say, I don't know. I would make an educated guess. Saying I don't know is the cheap shot.
So what player can replicate for France what Conte does?
You don't need someone as good as Conte to replicate it because Pogba is a great player.
Pogba's role changes in that France team.
No.
Conte's not.
Guess what? Blaise Matuidi plays there. An insane holding mid. Someone
Pogba balls out.
Not anymore. This is like 2 or 3 years ago. But if a real, just actual holding mid played there, Pogba ball out.
I mean,
You're about to say probably. That's my point. You want to take the cheap shot at Pogba.
It's not a cheap shot at Pogba. It's because
he's never played with anyone else but
it's
France.
because he's so inconsistent at United, and I've seen
I know he is.
So, but like Conte,
United, it's not about Conte though. There's so many other fucking layers to it than Conte, and than there is versus France versus United.
Mbappe, and his back four that plays behind him, the wings backs that play behind him, that entire team. I could look.
Yeah, there's
unreal
100 different variables.
I could look unreal in that team.
There's 100 different variables. Guess what? All of them at United are flipped.
Exactly. And all I'm saying, the only thing I've said is you can say my argument is not right or not. I haven't seen Pogba look good when he hasn't been with Conte in France.
Because he hasn't played without Conte at France.
I mean,
it's such a.
But no, it's because his role changes with Conte. His role in that team changes with Conte.
If you just brought in a fucking other holding mid,
someone who is
another holding mid to play behind him.
So we're saying he's the best holding mid in the world. He does all this stuff that nobody else does. But if you plug a player in there, it doesn't matter because Pogba's going to do the same thing.
It doesn't have to even Pogba do. Yes,
no.
100. Pogba is a great player. It's just because of one player on France, he would not be different.
He's still a great player.
If there was a player willing to do Conte's role,
then you're saying if United signed Declan Rice, he's going to be a world beater.
No, because you have fucking Bruno, and he's going to play 10, and Pogba's going to play left wing. That's the fucking problem.
If we would sign Declan Rice, Pogba would play 8.
Okay, I hope that happens. I don't think it will.
So, but then you're saying all of a sudden he'd be world class for United every single weekend.
If he played a position that he's probably supposed to play,
if the United forwards would make the runs that the
Absolutely.
French forwards would make, that when he distributes, that they're actually in an advantageous spot to go, then he would probably be willing to make more supportive runs on the offensive end to then reciprocate the ball that they play back to him. There's just so many levels to where United lets him down, and where France says if Pogba knows if he plays his best for France, he's going to end up in an advantageous position. If Pogba does something dangerous for United, he doesn't even think he's going to get the ball back.
Let me ask
That's what I see when I watch him play.
At what point does he receive criticism from you?
I give him criticism all the time.
At what point?
Let Nick answer.
No, seriously, this is like he's processing here. Like at what point?
No. I think I have given
you just
Pogba
said
criticism before.
every game he plays a good game.
Yeah.
But that's
now no. He plays a good game, but you are right. I need him to play great games like he does for France. 100% agree with it. I just think you guys dog Pogba that he plays like shit when he doesn't. He plays a good game consistently throughout his entire career. Does he not play a great game every once in a while?
Games,
yes, I agree.
So what's Pogba?
What do you mean?
Superstar.
Yes, superstar.
When he doesn't play a great game, you get criticism.
Okay. Yeah, I never said he doesn't deserve criticism, but you
said
guys
he
are
played
saying
every
he's dog
game.
shit. You guys are literally
Never once have I said we're dog shit. He's dog shit.
But you're saying
not once in my life.
You're right.
You're saying that he can't succeed without the best holding mid of all time.
We haven't seen
Which
it.
is a slap in
and
the
then
face.
you smile. Like it's just we haven't seen it, but you don't think he can?
I do think he can.
Then that's his point.
But
you're coming across to Hayfie right now is that you don't think he could do it without Conte. Instead of saying you actually do think he can, but you would need to see it. But to Hayfie, you're just saying no, he can't because we haven't seen it.
Yeah, Conte's the
My
only
thing
reason
is,
Pogba's good.
Declan Rice is one of the best holding mids in the world.
Yeah, I think if they got him, Pogba would be unbelievable. And if the United forwards would reciprocate Pogba's level of intelligence when he's playing the balls. Pogba still did one of the stupidest things in that France game that almost cost them. Did you see it?
Absolutely, yes.
In the back left defensive corner, the
and he
fans started doing an Olé sesh because he had an insane touch. What did he do? Backheeled it to a center back, almost cost him the game.
Yep.
He still has that shit in him.
Exactly, and that's what I wanted to bring up. In France, nothing comes from it.
Bruno has made Daniel James,
United,
and Cavani look amazing.
But he's also missed a ton of like Bruno's offensive efficiency is still not
he's
the best.
playing
I'm not saying it's the best.
He's allowed to take risks.
I'm just saying I think Pogba, in my opinion, is miles above the level of Bruno is. Bruno has made it happen with the shitty players, with a McFred center midfield.
But he's got
behind
good
him.
holding bids behind him.
As a
He's
left
taking
mid,
more
but
chances.
still.
He's taking more chances than Pogba would ever take. The stats behind the amount of passes that Bruno tries to make and fails is insane too.
I just think that it's one of those where it's like, yes, but the production's actually there, in my opinion.
All right, we got to wrap this up.
Yeah.
I say Cap.
See,
I want to hear yours. Factor Cap.
Pogba is only good because
And that's how you phrase
Conte
it. You've changed your phrasing as we've argued over time.
I'm saying fact.
Okay.
Fact
for you.
only because it hasn't been seen yet.
I'm with Dopes.
But that's not what we're asking.
That's exactly what
No, you're saying Pogba can only be good. So that's future.
Then you're changing the question.
No, we're not.
That's
you said
what he asked.
Pogba can only be successful with Conte. Just because it's happened in the past that he's been successful with Conte and not with United doesn't mean that he cannot be successful with it. It's so simple.
Pogba's top level that he can reach is when Conte's on the field.
Okay. That's a good take. We'll leave it at that.
It's just such a
That's not, whatever. All right.
GG's.
Great episode. Make sure to follow us on all social platforms.
I was supposed to be going 35 minutes ago.
That's a wrap.
Cheers.